Day, Emily.
Man, traffic was backed up. Anyway, so today, well, this month is National Recovery Month, if you guys don't know. And so I was driving in, I was like, oh, I have thought of the day. So I'm gonna take it way back. And I hope that this might be something that someone might be able to relate to. You know, when I got out of prison, I went to a place called Walden House. And this time, this was my 4th recovery program, and this time I got mandated. Like, usually I would get out and go on my own, but this time they were like, no, you need to go. You gotta stay. And I was like, so here I was. And I remember being in this program, and at first I did a really good program, you know, followed all the rules, became like a senior resident, all that stuff. And toward the end of the program, I guess now when I look back at it, success was scary, right? I hadn't came to Homeboys yet. I started using in the program. And I remember there was this woman, and I despised her. I thought I hated her. When I look back, I'll wrap it up and tell you how amazing things are, right? She was this gay woman, wore her hair pulled back in a ponytail, dressed like a guy, and she was the director of the program. And I remember I would look for reasons to hate her. Like I just hated her. And I remember being in her office one day, and I had just snorted some heroin, right? And I'm in her office, and I'm like, she's looking at me. Now when I look back at it, she was looking at me the way I look at people, like, what can I do to help you, right? But I didn't know that then. I'm like, this bitch, right? And I'm like, I'm fucking dying in your program. Your program sucks. Like, I'm here and I'm fucking dying in your program. Your counselors are this and you, and just talking crap about everyone, right? As I'm high on heroin in her office, in her program. I didn't know then, but what happened was that I wanted her to see me. I wanted her to help me. See, because I was that criminal, that gang member who didn't know how to tell on herself. You know, didn't know how to say, I'm high right now. Because if I said that, she might say, well, where did you get the dope from? Which then leads into my homegirl got me high, and leads, you know, the whole house getting in trouble and all that stuff, and I ain't a snitch. But what I didn't realize was that I was blocking my own help, because inside of me, I wanted to say, help me. But instead I said, your program ain't doing shit for me, right? Because I didn't know how to say, help me. You know, it took many years, you know, coming to Homeboys. I came to Homeboys, you know, and I shared this before, my father died, and I truly believe the saying that we have in recovery, and that is that sometimes one addict has to die for another addict to live. You know, and my father gave me that, because I know without, no one can tell me different, that if I continued, that I could die the way that my dad died, in prison, a heroin addict, right? And that's not to shame him, like, I thank him for giving me that. Like, he paid the ultimate price. Like, he gave me Mijita Luque. He gave me that. He gave me the greatest gift, which turned my life around. And then I came here to Homeboys. But let me tell you about that woman, the woman that I hated. Later on in life, I wound up, you know, getting this sponsor who I remember I had asked her to be my sponsor, and at the time she had said no, and I remember I was mad about that, like, well, you don't want to sponsor me? You know, but at the time I didn't know that my sponsor, she was, you know, clean and sober, but she was still in some behaviors. And so she didn't want to lead me in the wrong way, so she had turned me down. But I had went through some more things in life, and I think it was like 8 years later, I wound up running into this woman and I asked her to be my sponsor, and she said yes, and she's my sponsor today. Our grant sponsor passed away, and she wound up getting a new sponsor, which meant that I had a new grant sponsor. So I go to this meeting, I meet my new sponsorship family, and guess who's in my sponsorship family? the woman that I thought I hated. And what I realized is that I never hated the woman. I hated myself. And what she represented was everything that I wanted. But I was too proud to admit that. I didn't even know that I was too proud to admit it. At the time I was so messed up that I didn't even know that there was a pride issue. I didn't know. I thought that I really hated her. But come to find out that I actually admired her. And I looked up to everything that she was and everything that she had, and I wanted to be her. And I didn't know that. And the reason why I'm saying that to everyone here, and I hope that you guys can, hear what I'm saying. There's times when you're sitting with maybe your case manager. Maybe you're sitting with me. Maybe you're sitting with whoever in one of these departments, and at the moment you're like, man, I can't stand this person. They're always on me. They're always this. They're always that. But maybe it's just that you don't know yet, and it's okay. At the moment, you may really believe that you can't stand that person. But as you work on yourself, later on you might realize that at the time you couldn't stand the situation or the thing that you were going through. And the person, Steve says this to me, homegirl, they're in the darkness and you're the light. The darkness is allergic to the light. So we don't know that what we want is on the other end. We just feel allergic to it, right? So whenever you're feeling like that, or you think that you despise someone that's trying to give you some kind of service or some kind of help, go ahead and feel that. Or maybe at night when you lay your head down, tap inside and ask yourself why, and what does that represent? And is it possible that maybe I want what they have? I want that light, but I don't know how to get out of this darkness? And then I challenge you to take that next step and be vulnerable and take that chance and say, you know what? Maybe I don't know how to get along with you, but you know what? I'm going to hear you out. And then one day you might say, you know what? I wound up wanting everything that woman, remember that I hated? Everything that she was, guess what? I can honestly say, I am today. Thank you.